The desert, a place of stark beauty and secrets. For centuries these sands have waited. We were searching for a story lost to time, a whisper on the wind, a hint of something incredible. This remote stretch of desert was miles from anywhere. Our local guides pointed to a spot, legends spoke of an old place. Could this be it? The anticipation was electric. It started with a subtle anomaly in the ground radar. A shape that didn't belong, a man-made signature. Our hearts pounded. This could be something big. A discovery for the ages, the kind explorers dream about. The air was thick with possibility. Every grain of sand seemed to hold a clue. We were on the verge of something that could rewrite history. The desert doesn't give up its secrets easily, but we were ready to listen, ready to uncover what it had guarded. The adventure was just beginning. Our team was assembled, experts everyone. Archaeologists, historians, local workers, united by a single purpose: to carefully, respectfully uncover the past. The sun was climbing high, but our energy was higher. We marked out the area, grid lines drawn on the sand. The first tools broke the surface, not with brute force. This was delicate work, painstaking. Shovels moved sand, then trowels, then brushes. Layer by layer the desert yielded. We were like surgeons of the soil, searching for traces of ancient hands. The heat was intense, but our focus was sharper. Then we hit something, a sound, a feeling, stone, not bedrock but worked stone. Excitement rippled through the team. This was it, confirmation. The radar hadn't lied, there was indeed something here. We expanded the excavation carefully, following the line of the stone. It was a slow, methodical process. Each scoop of sand was sifted. You never know what tiny artifact might appear. The structure began to take shape, an entrance leading down into the darkness, into the unknown. The mystery was deepening beautifully. The entrance was magnificent, even partially buried. Carved stones, weathered by millennia, hinted at royalty or high status. This wasn't just any tomb, it was something special. Our tools were simple but effective. Every movement was deliberate. One wrong move could damage history. We documented everything meticulously. Photographs, drawings, notes. The desert fought back, sand trickling into cleared areas. It was a battle against time and elements. But the pull of what lay beyond was stronger. This entrance was a gateway, a passage between our world and theirs, a world silent for thousands of years. Finally, the last barrier was cleared, a heavy stone door. It had been sealed long ago. We paused, a moment of respect. Then with bated breath, we prepared to enter, to step across that ancient threshold into the heart of the mystery. The air that met us was cool and incredibly still. Dust motes danced in our flashlight beams, the only light this chamber had seen in ages. A heavy silence hung in the air, ancient. It was like stepping into a photograph, a moment frozen in time. Our senses were on high alert. What secrets did this chamber hold? Our light swept across the room. It wasn't vast, but it was filled with presence. Pottery lined one wall, mostly intact. Shadows played tricks on our eyes. Then, in the center we saw it, the reason we were here. A sarcophagus. The atmosphere was electric, a mix of adrenaline and reverence. We were intruders, but respectful, driven by curiosity. This was someone's final resting place, a place of immense spiritual importance. We moved slowly, carefully, trying not to disturb anything. The team gathered around, hushed. Words seemed inadequate. This was the moment, the culmination of so much work. The tomb had kept its secrets well, but now, it was ready to share them. We were standing on the edge of a truly amazing discovery. The sarcophagus was breathtaking, crafted from heavy stone, or wood. Covered in intricate carvings and paint, gold leaf still gleamed. Hieroglyphs covered its surface, telling a story or prayer. This was no ordinary coffin. It was a masterpiece of ancient art. We approached it with extreme caution. Before touching anything, we documented every angle, every detail. Patience is an archaeologist's best friend. The lid was heavy, perfectly fitted. How would we open it without damage? Specialists were consulted, plans made. Slowly, carefully, the lid began to move, inch by painstaking inch. A collective breath was held, and then it was open. The sight that greeted us was astounding. Inside, another layer perhaps, or the wrapped form itself. Linen bandages, darkened with age, still holding their shape. The form of a human body lying in repose for millennia. The mummy, we had found it, a silent guardian of an ancient world. Beyond the sarcophagus, the tomb held more. So many clues to a life once lived. pottery vessels, some perhaps held food for the afterlife, others precious oils or wine. Tools were there too, carefully placed, items the deceased might need, or symbols of their profession or status. We found jewelry, delicate and beautiful. Necklaces of beads, some semi-precious stones. Gold glinted here and there, showing wealth and importance. These weren't just objects, they were personal possessions, a direct link to their existence. One artifact stood out, a small carved statuette, perhaps a depiction of a god or a servant for the afterlife. Its craftsmanship was exquisite. It told us about their beliefs, their artistry, their view of death. Every item had a story to tell. The context of these artifacts is key. It's not just a treasure hunt. It's about reconstructing a life, understanding a culture. These objects are the words in a language spoken by the past, and we were slowly learning to read it. The story was unfolding before our eyes. So, who was this person, laid to rest with such care? The richness of the tomb suggested status. Was it a noble, a high priest, perhaps even a forgotten royal? The hieroglyphs on the sarcophagus held clues. Names, titles, prayers for the dead. Our Egyptologists were hard at work translating these ancient texts, piecing together the fragments of an identity. The inscriptions were challenging, some parts damaged or faded, but names began to emerge, titles that spoke of power and influence. Each translated phrase added a piece to the puzzle of this person's life. We cross-referenced with known records, hoping for a match. The style of mummification itself offered hints. Different eras, different social classes had different methods of preservation. The quality of the linen wrappings, the types of resins used, all these details were vital clues. Our experts examined them closely, building a profile of the deceased. Even before full scientific analysis, the research is ongoing, of course. Pinpointing an exact identity can take years, but the journey of discovery is thrilling. To give a name to the nameless, to restore a voice to the silent. This mummy was once a living person, with hopes, fears, and a story, and we were getting closer to understanding who they truly were. This is where history meets cutting-edge science. We can learn so much without unwrapping, thanks to modern technology. CT scans are like a virtual autopsy. They allow us to see inside the wrappings, to examine the skeleton, the organs, without disturbing the mummy itself. It's a non-invasive window to the past, revealing secrets hidden for centuries. The CT scans showed amazing details. The mummy's approximate age at death, their sex, their general health. Were there signs of disease? Old injuries? It's like they're right there with you, telling their story through science. DNA analysis is another powerful tool. If we can extract viable DNA, it can tell us about their ancestry, where their people came from. It might even reveal genetic predispositions to certain conditions. This connects them to a larger human story, the story of migrations and populations. And then there's carbon dating. By measuring radioactive carbon isotopes, we can determine its age, pinpointing the era when this person lived. This helps place the discovery accurately within the timeline of history. This discovery is more than just a mummy. It's a window into a lost world. It adds a vital piece to the human puzzle, helping us understand an ancient civilization, their beliefs, their rituals, their daily lives. Each find like this enriches our knowledge. It fills in gaps in the historical record, and often asks new, exciting questions. The quest for understanding never ends. The craftsmanship, the artistry, the engineering involved in creating this tomb, it speaks volumes about their culture, their technological skills, their societal structure. These weren't primitive people, they were sophisticated with deep traditions and a profound connection to spirituality. We learned so much from their ingenuity. That's why preservation is so crucial. These sites are incredibly fragile, they are irreplaceable records of our shared past. We have a responsibility to protect them, for future generations, for future research. Every discovery like this reminds us of the enduring human spirit. The sands of the desert held this secret, waiting patiently to be found, and as we uncover these stories, we learn a little more about what it means to be human. And that, my friends, is the greatest adventure of all.